Number 2, lesson 9-1, page 432. Number 1, it says, given a rational expression, identify the excluded values by finding the zeros of the denominator. Okay, the excluded values are anything divided by 0. So whatever sets the denominator equal to 0 is excluded. So let's take a look here. If we were to factor this right here, let's see, that would give you x minus 1 over, and then let's see, x and x. The factors of 4 are, well, 2 and 2, which would give you 4 here, or 4 and 1. So that's positive. I'm going to have plus 4 and minus 1. Okay. So what would be excluded? Anything that would make either one of these go to 0. So x cannot equal 1 because 1 minus 1 is 0. And x cannot equal negative 4 because negative 4 plus 4 would be 0. Now let's take a look here. This one's already factored for us. So what do we got? We've got x cannot equal 0. And then x plus 17 equals 0, so x cannot equal negative 17. All right. That's basically what I did over there. Number 3, it says write the given expression as an equivalent rational expression that has the given denominator. All right. So what do we got here? We've got x cubed. Let's factor that. So we got x squared, and that would be x plus 8. Okay, what do we already got over here? We already got x plus 8. So really all we're going to need to do is multiply the top and the bottom by x squared. So x times x squared would give you x cubed, and then negative 7 times x squared would be negative 7x squared. All right, now what about here? X times x squared would give you x cubed, and then 8 times x squared would give you plus 8x squared. Excellent, excellent. Number 4. Well, let's see. If we were to factor this, that would be 3x cubed over 3 times x minus 6. And we take out those, and we just have x cubed over x minus 6. Or x minus 2. X minus 2. And then x minus 2. All right, good. Well, let's see. We want 2 minus x in the denominator, and then x squared plus 9. So I think what we need to do is multiply it by, let's see here, by negative 1. Negative 1 times x squared plus 9 over negative 1 times x squared plus 9 times, and then we've got x cubed over x minus 2. So we got, let's see here, x squared times x cubed is, well, we could just do it as negative x cubed times x squared plus 9. Let's do that. Over, and then we got negative 1, so that's going to, we're going to make that negative 1 times x minus 2, that's going to give it 2 minus x times x squared plus 9. All right, and I guess we could work, we could, you know, x, that's going to give you negative x to the 5th minus 9x to the 3rd over, and then let's see, that's going to be 2, that's 2 2 times x squared, that's 2x squared plus 18 minus x cubed minus 9x. I might want to rewrite that. So I got negative x to the 5th minus 9x cubed over, and I got negative x cubed. That takes care of that. And then I got plus 2x squared, and then I got minus 9x, and then plus 18. And there we go. Number 5, it says simplify the given expression. Okay. Now, let's see, what can I can take a negative 4 out of there. So I got negative 4, that gives me 1 plus x. All right, and then here, let's factor that. So I got x times x gives me x squared. And factors of negative 2 are 1 and 2. So I'm going to go minus 2 and then plus 1. Okay. When I do that, I can take this out and I can take that out, and I am left with equals, and that's going to be negative 4 over x minus 2. And we got a negative 4. Now we can get rid of that. So we'll rewrite it as 4 over 2 minus x. Okay? And what did I do? I did the opposite, right? All right, there we go. Now let's take a look at number 6 here. I think we can take a negative 1 out. We got x plus 8. And then here in the denominator, I got x, that gives me x squared. In fact, well, 4 and 4, that would give me 8 and 9. 8 and 1 would give me 9. So I got plus 1 and plus 8. Notice these cancel out. And I am left with negative 1 over x plus 1. Number 7. Let's see. Number 7, what do we got here? Okay, we have 6 here. Now the factors of 6 are 6 and 1 and 3 and 2. All right. But I got 5 in the middle, and 3 plus 2 is 5. So I'm going to say 3x and 2x. The factors of 1 are 1, so I'm going to say plus 1, because this is positive, that's positive. And then plus 1. So 3x times 2x would be 6x squared. And then 3x times 1, that would be 3x. 1 times 2x would be 2x. Combine those at 5x, and then 1 times 1. All right, I got it. So here I got 3x, because 3 is prime, and just x. So that gives me 3x squared. I got, let's see, 1 here. That's going to be 1 and 1, and both are positive, so that's going to make positive and positive. 3x times, that's going to be 3x squared. 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times 1 is 3x. 1 times x. So that gives me 3x in the middle, and 1 plus 1x. That gives me a total of 4x, which is what's right there. All right, I have it. It is factored. So what can we take out? Well, we have a 3x plus 1 that we can take out. And that those both equal 1. So we are left with 2x plus 1 over x plus 1. Number 8. So let's take a look at number 8. What do we got here? I see this, and I'm seeing the difference of squares. So I'm going to have x squared plus 1 times x squared minus 1. That's the numerator here. In the denominator, I just got x squared plus 1. These cancel out, and I am left with x squared minus 1. Yeah, these ain't super hard. Number 9. This was, I'm happy there. Number 9. Find the least common denominator for each set of rational expressions. Well, what in the world is the least common? What does that mean? Well, say you had 6, and say you had 10 in the denominator. Okay. Well, to add those two fractions, you would have to have a common denominator. All right, well, this is made up of 2 and 3, and this is made up of 5 and 2. Well, let's see, 3 times 5 is 15, times 2 would be 30. So 30 on both sides, because they each had a 2, so that's 1. So the least common denominator would be 2, and then there's a 3, and there would be 5. 2 times 3 times 5. Well, 2 times 3 is 6, times 5 is 30. Okay? Good deal. Now, let's see here. Let's take a look at here. What do we got here? We're just going to ratchet up a little bit. That's going to be 2 times x plus 8. And over here, we're going to have 3 times x minus 9. Okay, so let's list the different factors. List the different factors. And just to make it easy, let's see, we got 2, we got 3, we got x plus 8, and we got x minus 9. So those are the different factors. So the least common denominator is going to be 2 times 3 times x plus 8 times x minus 9. Cool beans? That's the least common denominator. All right, let's take a look over here. We got 5, and that is x minus 6. And here we take out a 7, and that is x minus 6. All right. So what are the factors? What are the factors? Well, we got a 5. We got a 7. And then they both share an x minus 6, so we're going to have to write that one time. And let's see, 5 times 7, that's 35, x minus 6. And that's your least common denominator. Number 11. All right, now it's slightly more difficult, slightly. We need to factor both of these, and I'm going to get x plus 3 times x plus 2. 3 times 2 is 6, 3 plus 2 is 5. Come over here, I got 10, and then x plus 2. All right, what are the factors? I got, let's see here, 10, well that's really 2 and 5, and then I got x plus 3 and x plus 2, right? So my least common denominator is going to be 2 times 5 times x plus 3 times x plus 2. And that's going to be 2 times 5 is 10, and then x plus 3 times x plus 2. All right. Over here, what do we got? X minus 7 times x plus 4. All right. Negative 7 plus 4 is negative 3. Negative 7 times 4 is negative 28. Let's go over here. We got x minus 6 and x plus 4. All right. Negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2. Negative 6 times 4 is negative 24. So my factors. And let's see. I have x minus 7. I have x minus 6. And they share an x plus 4. So my least common denominator is going to be x minus 7 times x minus 6 times x plus 4. Easy peasy. And what do we got here? 13. Can we not take a 3 out of there? And that's going to give us x squared minus 7x minus, I'm thinking, let's see, well, 54 divided by 3, let's see. 1, that's 3, that's 24, that's 8, so 18. All right. And what do we got over here? Take a 21 out, and we have x squared minus 4. Okay. Can we factor this some more? We can. We got 3, and then that's going to be x minus 9 times x plus 2. Right? Negative 9 times 2 is negative 18. Negative 9 plus 2 is negative 7. All right. Whoa, what about over here? We're going to have 21. That's a difference of perfect squares. So we got x plus 2 times x minus 2. The factors, well, let's see what we got. 21, isn't that's 3 times 7, right? So you got to check that. Factors. 3 times 7, well, 3, 7, x minus 9, x minus 2, and x plus 2. So our least common denominator is going to be, well, 3 times 7 times x minus 9 times x minus 2 times x plus 2. And that's going to give us 21 times x minus 9, x minus 2, and x plus 2. Let's take a look over here. I think I can take 5 out of there. 5, that's going to give me x squared minus 8x plus 12. Excellent. I think I can take a negative 7 out of there. That gives me x squared minus 8x. It's going to be minus 12, I believe. All right, let's see. 7 and 84. That's 1. That's 7. That's 14. Yeah, that's 12. There we go. All right. So, I can take this some more. I got 5, and then let's see. What are the factors of 12 that give me 8? And that would be 6 and 2. I got x minus 6, x minus 2. And I know it's negative 6 and negative 2 because that adds up to 8, and negative 6 times negative 2 is positive 12. I got negative 7 there. What do I got? Negative 8 and 12. Well, that's going to be, that was positive 12. Whew. I was sweating there for a second. x minus 6, and then x minus 2. Because that's the same as that right there, right? They are the same. Didn't look like it, but they are. So my factors, what is, I got, let's see, negative 7, I got a 5, I have an x minus 6, and I have an x minus 2. Let's see here. Yeah, that should have been minus, because I took a negative 7 out there. There we go. All right, so my least common denominator is going to be negative 7 times 5 times x minus 6 times x minus 2. And that is going to equal negative 35 times x minus 6 times x minus 2. Add or subtract the given expressions, simplifying each result, and noting the combined excluded values. All right, so you need to find the excluded values right off the bat. Okay, so I'm looking, I have x in the denominator, so x cannot equal 0, and I got 1 plus x. That's going to be x cannot equal negative 1. Those are the two. All right. Now, to add these two, I have to have like denominators. Remember, let's see, if you had 1 over 6 and you wanted to add 1 over 8 to it, you'd have to see that's 2 times 3, that's 2 times 4. So, let's see here. They both got a 2 in it. This has got a 3, that one's got a 4. So I'm thinking the common denominator would be, well, let's see, 2 times 3 times 4. That's going to give me, well, that's 6 times 4 is 24. All right, so the least common denominator is going to be 24. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to multiply, well, let's see here. We got 24 over 24 times 1 over 6 plus 24 over 24 times 1 over 8. All right, so this is 1, and that is 4. So that's going to be 4 over 24. And let's see, that was 1, and that is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. And, well, let's see here, 24 times is 24. So my answer would be 7 over 24. So that is what we're going to do, but we're going to do it with letters here. Okay, so let me get this out of the way. What is the least common denominator? Well, I need to know what the factors are. And this is pretty simple. My factors are x and 1 plus x. All right, those are my factors. So I'm going to have x times 1 plus x over x times 1 plus x times 1 over 1 plus x plus, and then I got again x times 1 plus x over x times 1 plus x, and that's going to be times 1 minus x over x. Now let's see what I can do. 1 plus x and 1 plus x, those cancel out. And x times 1 is x. And then, of course, this is 1. And that's going to give me x over x times 1 plus x. Okay. Plus, let's go over here, plus, and then, well, I can take the x out. 1 and 1. So now I'm going to have what's left. 1 plus x times 1 minus x. So I got 1 plus x times 1 minus x over x times 1 plus x. Isn't that cool? Now, let's see here. To add those, to add this to that, I'm going to have to combine those. So let's do that. What do we got? X over x times 1 plus x plus, and then 1 times 1 is 1, 1, and then 1, that's going to be minus x, that's going to be plus x, and then x, that's going to be minus x squared. Well, when I do that, notice that these two here cancel out. So I'm going to have 1 minus x squared over x times 1 plus x. Now I can add them. Now I can add them. So together, I've got, well, let's see, x plus 1 minus x squared, x plus 1 minus x squared. Now, this isn't in the right order here, okay? So let me change that order. That's going to be negative x squared plus x plus 1. And that's going to be over x times 1 plus x. And x, let's see here, x cannot equal 0 or negative 1. So there's your answer. Ooh, there's your answer. Number 16. If you notice, these two both have the same denominator. So you can go ahead and add those. X minus 2x would be negative x, and then 4 minus 2 would be plus 2. Over x squared minus 4. Now the thing about the x squared minus 4, we've got to, let's take a look at that. X squared minus 4, that is the same as x plus 2 times x minus 2. Oh, well that makes it kind of tricky. So that's going to give us x cannot equal 2 and x cannot equal negative 2. So there's going to be our excluded values. But if you notice, negative x plus 2, if you multiply that by negative 1, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Multiply that by negative 1, that's going to equal, well, let's see here, x minus 2 over x plus 2 times x minus 1. Okay. So, and don't forget you had your negative 1 there. Negative 1. So these will cancel out, and you end up with negative 1 over x plus 2. And x cannot equal negative 2 or 2. Tricky, tricky. Let's take a look at number 17 here. Now we're going to do a little subtraction. Now it's a party. Step 1. We got to make sure it's factored. And 2 plus x, that's factored. X is factored. So what do I got? My factors are x and 2 plus x. Okay. Now, I showed you the more formal way earlier. Okay, I showed you. So let's see. Equals x times 2 plus x. All right, I showed you the more formal way. last time. If you notice, I got 2 plus x here, so I'm going to 1 over 2 plus x, and I'm going to times that by x over x. All right. Now, all I really did was take out the canceling thing. That's going to be minus, and then now notice how I got the x already, so I'm going to have 2 minus x over x times 2 plus x over 2 plus x. Now all I did was take out the part where I was going to have to cancel. Okay, I just went ahead and took it out. So I'm going to have x over x times 2 plus x minus, and that's going to give me 2 minus x times 2 plus x over x times 2 plus x. Now, to do the actual subtraction, I'm going to have to go ahead and multiply that across. Okay? So, I got x over x times 2 plus x minus 2 times 2 is 4. That's going to be plus 2x minus 2x, and then minus x squared. Okay, and I notice I got 2x minus 2x, so those are going to cancel out. So I'm just going to have 4 minus x squared over x times 2 plus x. Now, again, I don't really like the way that's written. I'm going to change that to negative x squared plus 4. So 0 minus negative x squared is going to be x squared, and then x minus 0 is going to be plus x, and then plus 4, and all of that is going to be over, need a little more real estate, and all of that's going to be all of that's going to be over x times 2 plus x. So there's my answer. Oh, I almost forgot. X cannot equal 0, and it cannot equal negative 2. Remember, that was from up here. That's from my denominator. X cannot equal 0, it cannot equal, either one will turn it to 0. All right. Now, I said that you're supposed to do this at the beginning. Why do you think I would want you to do it at the beginning? Okay. What happens when you're simplifying it? Sometimes some of the denominator is taken out, and you might lose it. Okay. You don't want to lose it, so you got to keep it in. You got to do it there at the beginning. Let's try number 18. Again, we got the exact same denominator, so we can go ahead and do our subtraction. We have 4x to the 4, and then 4 minus 8 is negative 4 over x squared plus 1. Now, x squared plus 1 has no real solutions. Okay, it has no real solution, so no values are excluded. All right. Now, I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking I can take 4 out, and I got x to the 4th minus 1 over x squared plus 1. X to the 4th minus 1. Oh, let's come down here. We got 4, and then that's going to be x squared minus 1 times x squared plus 1. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th, and then minus plus, those cancel out, minus 1. All right, there we go. all over x squared plus 1. And these can be canceled, and we are left with 4 times x squared minus 1. And again, no values are excluded because x squared plus 1, it has no real solutions. This looks like fun. Now I'm looking at this, I got x squared minus 2 and negative x squared plus 2. X squared minus 2 and negative x squared plus 2. What does that tell me? Let's take a look at it. If I was, let's see here, x to the 4th minus 2 over x squared minus 2 plus, and then notice, if I multiply the top and the bottom by -1, I got negative 2 over, wait for it, that's x squared minus 2. Now what do I have here? I have the same denominator. Now I'm going to go over here to the side. I got x squared minus 2, set that equal to 0. Add 2 to both sides. I got x squared equals 2. I take the square root. And I got x equals plus or minus the square root of 2. Okay. Oh, we're going to hold on to that for later. So what do I do here? X to the 4th plus, this is x to the 4th. X to the 4th. And then negative 2 plus negative 2 is negative 4. And that's going to be x squared minus 2. Now I'm looking up here. That's a perfect square. That's a perfect square. So I've got x squared minus 2. And then x squared plus 2. And then down here I got x squared minus 2. These two cancel out. And my final answer is equals x squared plus 2. And x cannot equal, and I'm going to go ahead and write it like this, plus or minus the square root of 2. That was cool. Now number 20 is a little bit tricky. Because if you factor this, what do we got? We have x plus 4 times x minus 1. All right. And then if we factor this, we've got x minus 2 times x minus 1. Negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. Negative 2 plus negative 1 is negative 3. Same thing over here. So what are my factors? My factors are, what do we got? We got x plus 4 times x minus 1 times x minus 2. Those are my factors. So what am I going to do? All right. Equals, and then I got 1 over, and this is, I'm going to do x plus 4 times x minus 1, and I'm going to multiply that by, well, what is that missing? It's missing x minus 2. So I got x minus 2 over x minus 2. Minus, and then I got 1 over, wait for it, x minus 2 times x minus 1. And this is missing the x plus 4, so I'm going to times that by x plus 4 over x plus 4. Isn't that cool? So now I've got this is going to equal x minus 2 over x plus 4 times x minus 1 times x minus 2 minus, and then I'm going to have x plus 4 over x plus 4 times x minus 1 times x minus 2. All right? So I've got the same denominator all the way around. I might need some real estate there, so I'm going to go ahead and put me a line. All right. So now I got x, I got the same denominator, and I can do my work. X minus x is 0. Negative 2 minus 4 is going to be negative 6. So this is going to equal negative 6 over x plus 4 times x minus 1 times x minus 2. All right, now we go back over here. X cannot equal negative 4, and cannot equal 1, and cannot equal 2. So my answer is negative 4, 1, and 2. All right. Negative 6 over x plus 4 times x minus 1 times x minus 2. And the excluded values are negative 4, 1, and 2. Ah, this is gonna be fun. You're gonna like this. All right. First, that's completely factored. Can't do anything with this right here. I see a difference of perfect squares, so I got x plus 2 times x minus 2. All right. Well, what are my factors? My factors are x plus 2 and x minus 2. Now this has everything in it, right? This side here has everything in it. So I've got 3 over, and I'm going to write x minus, or x plus 2 times x minus 2. Minus, and then I got x plus 5 over x plus 2. And I'm going to, since that had everything in it, I didn't have to do anything. But over here, I'm going to have to multiply that by x minus 2, x minus 2 over x minus 2. So let's see, we got 3 over, that's x plus 2 times x minus 2, and minus, and then x times x is going to be x squared. X, that's going to be minus 2x. It's going to be plus 5x. And that's going to be minus 10. Now these two can be combined, and that's going to give me plus 3x. So I got plus 3x and then minus 10. Just to save me a little room there. Over x plus 2 times x minus 2. So this is going to equal negative x squared minus 3x, and then 3 minus negative 10 would be 3 plus 10, or plus 13. And all of that is going to be over x plus 2 x minus 2. And if we go back up here, that can't be a negative 2, that can't be a negative 2, and that can't be a 2. So my excluded values are x is not equal to negative plus, well, I'll just plus or minus 2. We'll do it that way there. All right? Now, I want you to do number 22. And you can do it on your own. And I'm going to give you the answer, but when I check your work, when I check it, I'm going to want to see your work. Okay, so the answer, so you'll know the answer. And let's see here, must show work. Must show work. The answer is going to be -2 over x times 3x plus 2 times 3x minus 2. And let's see, x cannot equal 0 or plus or minus 2/3. Okay, that will be the answer. Great job, folks. See you tomorrow in class, and have a wonderful evening.